Shalom, Kol Halal Yahweh Bashem Abishai Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so. Now more so than ever, to the scattered, hopefully elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners mixed among the heathen, and the Akwaf that are listening and learning. To you, I give a sincere shalom. This is your brother Malchaamah from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago. And this video that I'm profiling is a travesty, an embarrassment and a shame to all Israel that was put on by the members of, or by some members of Isupk. I would hate to think that the whole of Isupk is like this, but nevertheless, this is a bad look not only for Isupk but for all of Israel. What they did was completely unrighteous. And this video is a video that was profiled, that was put up by the beloved elder apostle Ramlab on GMSinfo channel 12, and these are the brothers of the Great Millstone Pittsburgh, all right, who have been teaching on this spot for probably a little over 3 years, for what I'm told. And you know, in Isupk, they only come out when the weather is nice. When you have inclement weather, you do not have Isupk. If it was up to Isupk, the sheep, the flock would not be getting fed. Because they only come out during the summer, and they'll come out maybe once or twice during the winter if the temperature breaks and it's above 45. Maybe, matter of fact, I'll even dare to say above 50. 40s is too cold for them. All right, because they're somewhere eating chicken and barbecue, and you know, whatever the hell that they're doing. But without any further ado, let's let some of this video play, and then I'm gonna go into the scriptures.
So that's what we see. Who's in background, right? Right. Now the scripture says, so that's what we see. Verse 20. Yea, go ahead and strive to preach the gospel. Man, the camera come on closer, bro.
This should be K-corner. Right. Tell them that.
Romans 15 verse 20.
This should be K-corner now.
So it's UPK corner. You know, we had a member of UPK walk by the camp maybe about four years back. And this was a guy that used to stand on the other side of the line, a Benjamite, here in Chicago. And this is a guy who learned he was an Israelite, and but you know, the Lord wasn't with him, didn't want him, and that's why he's with the Isupk. But he walked by our camp about 4 years ago, and he was screaming UPK, throwing up his hands like he was throwing up signs, some sort of signs. And these guys were parading back and forth, you know, like they were crip walking in the back room, like they were about to break out into a breakdance battle. I mean, it was ridiculous, the behavior that proceeded from these men. It really was, man. I'm gonna kill the sound and just let it just play in the background as I go into the scriptures. But couple things, man. They're scoffing and scorning the truth, man. And this is basically the house of David versus the house of Saul. And these guys push that name Christ, all right? And Christ is the name of that the oppressive used for 500 plus years, man. Christ is connected to white superiority, is connected to Cesare Borgia, all right, of the Borgia family, which was the false image that was used and pushed to this very day of Yahushai, you know. And they say Yahushai maybe every 20 to 30th time when they speak about the Lord, but they talk about Christ, 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 and then they speak about black this and black that. All right, they parade back and forth, the black man this, the white man that, Christ and Jesus. And the only thing you can really learn from Isupk is that you're an Israelite. Outside of that, you're really not going to learn much from them, because the truth be said, they're not apt to teach. All right. You would think with all the members that they have that there will be a plethora of videos from Isupk, but there is not. because they're men. You know, what they're taught to do is yell and scream and say, that's right. All right? The that's right doctrine. You know, they probably give out awards at their Passover at the brother who can scream that's right the loudest with the brother with the meanest mug, you know? Mean mug the camera. You get the award, brother. These guys are just they're not spiritual. They're very carnal men. All right? And then when you get to the 20th minute of this video that the apostle did, they say something to the effect that 12 tribe chart belongs to Isupk. All right, the 12 tribe chart belongs to all of Israel. All right, because like I said, if it was up to Isupk, the sheep would not be getting fed. The flock would not be getting fed. All right, and that chart was put together. Was that breakdown was given to Elder Ariah, to High Priest Ariah, man, not to General Gehenna. All right, and Gehenna is not apt to teach, man. It's clear he got men under him that surpassed him in the scriptures, man. All right, so let's go right to the scriptures, because this isn't going to be a long lesson, but very thorough and to the point, man. And so now it's time to hit you with the scriptures, man, because we're living, you know, in the times of Acts all over again, man. And the spirit of those who were against Yahushua and against his men are back. Those are the very people who will scream and give us Barabbas. And that spirit is among Isupk, man. All right. I am 300% sure that these are the spirits of the Sadducees and the Pharisees all over again, man, who are against Yahushua and the 12. But this is Amos 9 and 9, and it says, "For lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in a sieve, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth." And what that means is literally what it said. The Israelites got shifted among all nations. If a Moabite-looking man came up bearing the spirit of Judah, right? Because the scriptures clearly say that Moab will be a covert unto Judah. If he came up with the diddy bop walk, with the lean to the side and that straight Israelite spirit, you know, and you've all seen it, you know, that swag that the billions of them, when you see them, that don't have, and all of a sudden one stands out and he's different. You know, his pants are sagged a little bit, hat to the side, you know, he talks different. He just got that spirit. All his friends are Jake. All he listened to is R&B and hip hop, house music, that whole sort of thing. They don't acknowledge the fact that our people were scattered. Why? Because they too busy teaching about the black man this, the white man that. All right. And there's no such thing as black nor white, man. Both of those words are social constructs, and men, unlearned men like this, really help to perpetuate the stupidity and the ignorance when it comes to that sort of thing. They don't help. Not the righteous brothers in the front of the screen, but those wicked men, you know, in the background. Those men. All right? The wicked men in the background. Like I said, they looked like they was about to break out, start crip walking as they were taking the corner. This our corner. This UPK corner. Where's that in the scriptures, man? All right? So let's continue on. This is Amos 9 and 10. "All sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil day shall not overtake nor prevent us." And a lot of the members of Isupk are going to die by the sword. It's clear that they're living by the sword. We're making videos on Vlad TV of them going to the range and shooting and all that kind of mess, man. Making all of Israel look like we're some sort of militant Black Panther organization, you know, with AR-15s and guns. All right, the Lord didn't say that that's how Esau was going to come down. The sword is Esau's blessing. Okay, the sword is Esau's blessing, not Jacob's. All right. Jacob is a spiritual man. Okay. Verse 11. "And in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof. And I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old." All right. And those breaches are what? That he's closing up. You 501c3 charter Israelite camps, man. All right? You 501c3 charter Israelite camps, which anyone can go and Google it and look it up. Isupk is in agreement with Esau, meaning they're agents of Esau, man. All right, they've made they made a pact. All right, they have a covenant with Esau. All right, they do. So here, let's go to this now. This is 2 Samuel 3 and 1. Now there was a long war between the house of Saul and the house of David. But the house of David waxed stronger and stronger, and the house of Saul waxed weaker and weaker. And Isupk is clearly members of the house of Saul, man. Because they're not worldwide. They don't have camps all over the world. The Spirit didn't build up their camp. As you see, they're very carnal, and they're in agreement with Esau, Edom. This is why they teach Christ. This is why they teach black man and white man. Why they teach that nonsense. They're perpetuating the because you know that's what Esau does. He infiltrates, and he's used Isupk to infiltrate the Israelite movement, man. Now I'm sure that General Gehenna started off, you know, as a righteous man. So was Saul before the house of Israel was taken from him. Why? Because he wasn't called, he's not chosen. General Gehenna or Gehenna, whatever the hell his name is, he's not a general, he's not a man of the Lord, and he's definitely not chosen. And you men that follow him are foolish. You're just outright stupid. Yes, the members of Isupk are stupid for following General, this man that refers to himself as General Gehenna. They're stupid. From the elders who've been in it for 20 plus years, right, down to the guy who's standing on, because if the Spirit is working with you, you would clearly know that the men of the GMS bring the Bible hardcore, direct and correct, the good and the bad. All right, and Isupk comes with that woman-friendly doctrine, trying to please the woman to keep that flow of money coming in. You know, that secret queen of heaven worship. Those men who allow Isaiah 3 and 12 to who embrace Isaiah 3 and 12, Jeremiah 31 and 22. They embrace the woman being over them. All right, that's what they do. All right, let's get a couple more scriptures and wrap this thing up, man. Remove this. Well, let's put it back. Yeah, because the way these guys were acting and their behavior was just ridiculous, man. But let's go back into the scripture. This is no, I don't want that yet. I still want Samuel. 2 Samuel 2 and 7. Therefore now let your hands be strengthened, and be ye valiant, for your master Saul is dead, and also the house of Judah have anointed me king over them. All right, so King David was anointed king over Israel, man. And right now, the person who's standing in the Saul in the stead of Saul is General Gehenna. All right, with his minions, these crip walking, you know, that's right, yelling members of Isupk in the background, man. All right, and I do believe through the Spirit that General Gehenna is going to be put to death, man. Now it's true, men of the Lord die in the service of the Lord, but he's not serving the Lord. All right, it's like, how many blasphemies must he say? All right, this man told Israel that it's okay to sex their woman in the butt, that it's okay for the men of Israel to be sodomites. And other blasphemies he's quoted out. And the biggest being that he's made a covenant. He's connected Isupk to Esau through the 501c3 charter. And then where are you other camps at, man? Once again, Where y'all at, man? Coming against this sort of wickedness. Because I promise you, the men, not the men in my camp, nor any other men at GMS that I know of, would ever do something like this, man. We would keep it scriptural. You know? I would never go up to the Sakari and do that sort of thing. I would treat them men like brothers, man. I would never go up to the men of valor or the men of DTA and act this way. Why? Because they call on the name of Yahweh Hashem Shai, same as I do, not Christ. Okay? But this is the last and final scriptures. This is Isaiah 30. The point is in 2 and 3, but I'm going to start at 1. And it says, woe to the rebellious children. That's you 501c3 charter, man. ISUPK, IUIC. You type guys, man. GOCC. Woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with the covering, but not of my spirit, that may add sin unto sin. That's that 501c3 charter. Because you know what's connected to that 501c3 charter? This new virus, this coronavirus, and now they're talking about implementing the virus through a chip, through an identification chip. There's your mark of the beast, man. They're going to put the cure to the virus in the chip and demand that everybody take it. So, and a lot of these guys aren't teaching about the RFID chip, man. Or they scoff against it. All right? Like Nate said in the past, where's my dog? It's June. So you guys are going to be found to be frauds as more of the prophecies come to pass and as things get more intense here in Babylon. You're going to learn who the real men of the Lord are, and for those of you following ISUPK, you either gonna stop doing it, or you're gonna die with that death by pain for doing so. You have been warned. All right, Isaiah 30 and 2. That go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt, to trust in your FOI card and your 501c3 charter and go to the range and shoot and think you're going to build just like you took this corner. That's Esau's corner, fool. That's not your corner. This is Esau's kingdom. And he wants you in that corner talking about the black man this, the black man that. Christ. Misleading the people with those lies, man. Tazariak. It's a big waste of a man. All right. This is chapter, and because you ain't no captain, man. You just Tazariak. Matter of fact, you're not even that. You the name that the brothers from the Mississippi camp gave you. The name you was going by then. That's what you need to be called by, man. All right. Because you a flunky GMS, a flunky who flunked out of GMS, man. That's what you are. You flunked out of GMS over to ISUPK. Because that's where you shined. Because you'd have been a nobody in GMS, man. You couldn't have shined like that. All right? Because everybody's built up in GMS. Isaiah 30 and 3, last scripture. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame. Your 501c3 charter, your black man and your white man, which are doctrines of Esau, Edom. Your Christ, which is a doctrine of Esau, Edom. Those are going to be your shame. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. All right. So with that, I'm going to give all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh Hashem Shai, Wa Abba Babal. Shalom.